Good afternoon, folks. Tropical Storm Alex update for Monday afternoon, June 28th, 2010. We've seen Alex today, slowly getting organized today. Pretty much stationary movement. We have movement off to the north-northwest at 5 miles an hour. Latest pressure about 990 millibars and maximum sustained winds at 60 miles an hour. Alex is located right about here. Hasn't moved much in the last 24 hours as it waits for this trough of low pressure to kind of get out of the way and kind of get it started moving again. Haven't seen much organization today. Thunderstorms have not really gotten around the center of circulation. The west side has been pretty much terrible. Outflow along the west side not good, and I'll kind of show you the reason why that's been happening today. And here's the water vapor loop. So this will show you why we haven't seen strengthening today. Remember I showed you yesterday dry air located in this area here. Also told you we might get some northerly shear today that might prohibit this from strengthening, and we did get that today. Getting a little bit about 10 knots of northerly shear coming onto this system, kind of dragging some of this drier air down, and that's really eroded the western side of this system right now. And you see a little upper level low here, a little disturbance too as well. So this really, you can see it's really chopped off this outflow. Not much happening on the west side at all. East side still looking good. Some nice outflow here. West side not so good. This should change. Once this trough moves out, we have high pressure moving back in. Upper level wind should get a little better in here. We'll have to see if this dry air really does have an effect down the road, and that may preclude it from becoming a Category 2 hurricane. Right now, Category 3 doesn't look as promising, which is actually good news. But we'll have to see if this dry air eventually affects it. Dry, stable air is not good for hurricanes. So we'll have to see what happens down the road. But that's what's happened today and why it hasn't developed very quickly. And here's that shear map showing that northerly shear coming onto Alex here from the north, probably northwest to north. And probably had dragged in some of that drier air. It's kind of cut off the western side of this. Again, the forecast is this upper high to reestablish itself over this system, and should be able to get Alex up to a hurricane by tomorrow. And here's that the heat potential here, and as you see right now it's in that low heat potential. Once it moves a little north and gets into this area, so if the shear drops a bit and it could get into this location here, we should see at least a Category 2 hurricane. Right now, I don't know about a Category 3. With this dry air in this area stable, it doesn't look good. I'd give it about a 10% chance. So I'm thinking more Category 1, Category 2 hurricane at this time. All right, so here's the steering currents right now. Trough here, kind of going to dig down a little bit through here and then lift off to the east. So right now it's feeling a little bit of the effect of that trough, and that's why it's kind of slowly moving to the north. Then this high pressure is going to move east, kind of put the block on it, so it won't be able to go straight north to Louisiana, and then it's going to make that bend back off to the west-northwest. So right now it's kind of in no man's land. The steering currents are kind of weak. Once this trough lifts out, it'll resume a northwest and then west-northwest motion. You saw yesterday a lot of the models were showing this high that's going to move in here to replace this trough weaker, and that's why you saw northward motion. But all along I really wasn't buying that. It just didn't seem feasible to me, and we've seen the models now come into better agreement, taking us close to Brownsville, Texas, and that's really been my thinking all along. Kind of go through some of the models real quick. I'm not going to show you all of them because they're all about the same right now. The Euro model, very consistent on its run-to-run progress here throughout Alex's lifespan. And then you'll see it here, taking that west-northwest, west-northwest motion just south of Brownsville. Almost every model kind of has that Euro model run to it just south of Brownsville, near Brownsville. So this is the northernmost model right now, the HWRF, and it has it bringing it near Corpus Christi. So right now, you know, we have that up to Corpus Christi, but mainly everybody's focused near Brownsville right now. Even the GFS here that was north yesterday, you saw it with the Canadian model. The GFS and the Canadian are just about the same now, and bringing this close to Brownsville, Texas. And here's a bunch of the 12Z early track runs, and you saw this This has just slowly shifted to the north the last 24 hours. Not a big jump, but just ever so slightly. And you see them really coming to a consensus near Brownsville right now. Still a few of them bring it up to near Corpus Christi. That's why they're still in the game. But you see the bulk of them now just to the south or near Brownsville. So here was the official forecast track from the National Hurricane Center. This was as of 11 a.m. I don't expect this to change at all at 5. Models are still in pretty good consensus, so this should not change. We have a hurricane watch out from Baffin Bay. If nobody knows where Baffin Bay is, that's just south of Corpus Christi, all the way to La Cruz, Mexico. It's funny that they didn't put Corpus Christi in here, even though they're in the cone of uncertainty. But if you live in Corpus Christi, be prepared. That's all. You know, you got to be. If you're in this cone, even though you're not in a hurricane watch, you need to prepare. My thinking is just about in line with the National Hurricane Center, which has been my thinking for the past, 2-3 days, that this was going to come in near Brownsville. Now, the kind of weather you get will depend on whether if you're living in Brownsville or points north, if this storm comes in south of you, you're going to get the worst side of this storm, the biggest surge and everything. And right now I'm thinking this is going to either be probably near Brownsville or a little south. So, this area here, just north of Brownsville, in this watch area, be prepared. You better be preparing right now for a Category 1 or Category 2 landfalling hurricane. And that's my guess right now. I'm thinking this is still coming near Brownsville. A little shift to the north, and then if Brownsville is then on the south side of the storm, not as much surge, not as strong of winds. That would bring Corpus Christi and areas in that area a little bit into the mix. So again, you should be preparing for a Category 1 or Category 2 hurricane if you're in the watch area or even in Corpus Christi. And that's definitely my thinking. As far as intensity goes, thought I'd see a hurricane tonight or tomorrow. Now I'm pretty sure tomorrow we're going to finally see our first hurricane of the season. And then we'll have to see as it gets up in this area. This is where you have that higher heat content of the ocean, so we could see a Category 2 hurricane in here. Now, as it moves towards the coast, will this dry air mix into it and then knock it back down to a Category 1? Boy, wouldn't that be great. Right now, I really don't see a Category 3 hurricane developing. I give it only about a 10% chance. Just from seeing that dry air and how stable it is up in this area, I really don't see a Category 3 hurricane coming into play. It's still out there, but probably only about a 10% chance of it even happening. I just really, really don't see it right now. So Category 1 or Category 2 landfall looks about right now. I will have another update on tropical storm, or possibly by tomorrow morning, Hurricane Alex. I will have another update tomorrow morning for you guys. Have a great night. Bye-bye.